impact on Australia if Nazism had never flourished in Germany, or if fascism in Italy had not eroded the moral authority of the Italian crown. Think how different the world would have been if Japan had not helped to destroy the Chinese imperial crown in the late 19th and later in the 20th centuries. And then think about the prospects if Japan had been allowed to fall into Soviet-led republicanism with the end of World War II. World War I caused a social dislocation in Russia, leading to an urban globalist, read utopian Marxist putsch, not a revolution, which curtailed what was then the most rapidly growing economy in Europe as of 1917. That had almost as much global impact subsequently in dislocating societies as did the later spread of Western wealth, perhaps more. We see today urban populations disconnected from everything except short-term materialism, echoing the same utopianist demands made by the Bolsheviks of 1917. Republicanism, as this book explains, tends to be more materialistic, transactional, and short-term than deeply rooted traditional society. We saw the 1911 Xinhai revolution in China, led by Sun Yat-sen, not only euthanize an already disconnected Qing imperial dynasty, it opened the country to civil war, facilitating what began as an opportunistic new set of Japanese incursions beginning in 1931. But because of that civil war, China could not adequately respond to increasingly rapacious Japanese assaults on the country. It was no surprise that the Chinese Communist forces under Mao Zedong left most of the fighting against the invading Japanese to the nationalist forces under Chiang Kai-shek, ultimately leaving the nationalists weakened and easy prey for the communists. Similarly, in Yugoslavia, the communist partisans under Josip Broz Tito left the real fighting against the invading Nazi German forces to the monarchist Chetniks under the great general Draža Mihailović, whose forces were so weakened by 1945 that the partisans ensured that the Yugoslav crown did not regain office. Again, I don't say that monarchies, even in the most democratic of societies, necessarily always sway history along lines beneficial to all. But what is clear is that the primary duty of sovereignty, and therefore of the sovereign and the sovereign's government, must be to the security and welfare of that sovereign's own kingdom, empire or state, not to others. Donald Trump definitely understands that. The monarchies of Britain, France, Germany, Italy, Spain, Portugal, Belgium, Japan and Russia imposed their powers over the past 200 years on societies in Africa, the Middle East, the Americas and Asia, and thereby subjugated the identity and sovereignty of others. This, of course, had many negative consequences for subject peoples. But the Republican governments of the Soviet Union and the United States and so on equally practiced imperial dominance and suzerain manipulation, and that's critical, a suzerain indirect manipulation of smaller states.